1090 Jake just posted up a video trying to show his growth, trying to show his maturation as a man, which is always greatly appreciated. But there was one mistake that he put on this video, and that would be his caption. I want y'all to watch this video and then make sure that you pay attention and read what he put, and it's going to create a bigger conversation. Let's get it. You see, when 1090 Jake just posted, "What were you like as a wigger?" I think that he exposed an even bigger conversation. A conversation that I've been having on this channel, but people have not been paying attention. So 1090 Jake came onto the scene doing prison story lane content. Originally from Boston, he moved to Florida and he became a blood gang member despite being white. They accepted him into a black gang. He basically built his content off of street life, gang culture, exposing paperwork. It seemed as if he was accepted into black culture. And for a long part of his career, he was still sticking to this street code and still sticking to this culture. He was on his blood shit. He was still showing and exposing paperwork saying, yo, this person's a rat, this person's a snitch, they're this and they're that. But over the latter part of the year, we've noticed that there have been changes. Just recently, he did a video where he was responding to 6ix9ine and Big Bank's interview that's been going viral, and he's on the phone with 6ix9ine. Not that I have a problem with him on the phone with a snitch, but that's not the agenda that he has pushed over the last few years, correct? And he really was pressing that line with other people. So you don't press the line on 6ix9ine, but you press that line on Boston Richie. You press that line on any other black rapper that you had issues with. And I'm not saying that to say, oh, he's racist or anything. I'm just saying that you have done irreparable damage to a lot of different people within our culture. But yet now that you're on your growth, it's just all good. And that's where I get to this point with 1090 Jake, where he said what I was like as a wigger. Kind of like, this is my final transformation and I am no longer on this. But yet you can criticize somebody like a Gucci Mane, call them a rat, when really y'all are very similar at this point. But we'll get to that. Let's get to this caption though. What was I like as a wigger? What does that sound like to y'all? It sounds to me like he's saying the phase is over. I used to act black. I don't anymore. I'm no longer that person. Whoop-de-doo. But I feel like to your black viewers, it's a smack and a spit into the face, because it seems like you was basically using blackness as a costume. It's seeming more like street culture was an aesthetic to you and it's just something that you can remove. But yet you're gonna report on people who are dying to get out of the street culture, but they can't because of their environment, because of their influences, because the mistakes that they've made as a child. And people like you are gonna report it, and you're gonna make content and monetize off of it, while these people have to suffer with the things that you're reporting them about. I bet there's people that just watched what you just put up and they're like, damn, I sure wish that I could turn my blackness off when it's convenient. You see, and you're doing what all the other industry white rappers that tap in to black culture are doing. The only person that ain't folded yet was Eminem. You see, these white entertainers, they come into these black spaces and it's fun, it's rebellious, it's exciting, it's edgy to be one of us. But then once you gain profit, you monetize off of it, y'all be like, okay, it's time to clock out. It's time to go back to what I know, to what I really am. And that's what I'm looking at when I see this video. Yeah, 1090, I know that you separated yourself from the Bloods once your name started coming up in cases like YNW Melly. You was being connected to people. Yeah, you didn't want that anymore, understandably. But I just want to say that 1090, you done gave people flack for the very thing that you're doing. And the people, the fans, the black people in our culture, we got to call y'all out too. Because 1090 Jake and Gucci Mane, they one and the same. You see, Gucci Mane went to prison just like 1090 Jake. He lost a whole bunch of weight. He put down the gang banging. He focused on his career. He focused on his mental health, his physical health, his relationship. And he got out and he did better. But guess what the culture did to him? They said, this can't be real. It's no way that this is the real Gucci Mane. This ain't the Gucci Mane that got the ice cream cone and this Jeezy. This is a clone. We do not accept this man and his growth. So when I see that Gucci Mane got robbed by Pooh Shiesty and he cooperated with the police because that is no longer a part of his life and he didn't ask for anything that came to him, I see people like 1090 Jake and other people saying, nah, Gucci's a rat. It is what it is. He stood on this 10 years ago, 15 years ago. But yet, in your last video, I see you on the phone with 6ix9ine when he discussed things with Big Bank. And I can't tell you who to be friends with. But what I can say is that 6ix9ine is way more a rat than Gucci Mane ever was. But we're not accepting the fact that Gucci has growth. But yet, you want to show off your growth. So I got to call out the culture because it seems like when you're non-black, they celebrate your transformations way easier than they do when you are a participant black person in this culture. Why is that? Other people can change, but black men are supposed to embody the person that they came into the game with at 20 years old, 21, 22, 23. They're expected to be that person forever. I just saw somebody say that Gucci Mane was supposed to go out there and murder Pooh Shiesty, a 46-year-old man with a family. 1090 Jake is welcome. I'm so proud of your growth. And I see you just had a baby girl. So I just want to say congratulations on leaving the street life alone. I've seen those comments and he's not wrong for that. But why can't we be held under the same standards? And my last point I just want to make is that black culture is loved until it's entering other non-black spaces. Lil Nas had a country record that was so successful, it ended up being the most successful record on Billboard history. It was the longest consecutive #1 song to ever hit this earth. And he was never, ever embraced by country institutions. Beyonce dropped her country album and it was still successful because she is who she is. But there was still gatekeeping and immediate pushback by the country fan base. I saw Lil Wayne try to go rock and he did that. But we knew that that couldn't be a permanent decision. Because guess what? They were going to tell Lil Wayne, no, you need to bring your ass back to hip hop. That's how you came in. That's how you going to go out. We wouldn't know MGK if it wasn't for hip hop. Him beefing with Eminem. Him making songs with Waka Flocka. But yet when it started not to be as helpful anymore and he didn't gain all that he could from it, what did he do? He went pop. He went rock. He started going back to his roots. So I'm gonna just end it like this. Black communities and black culture, we gotta stop punishing growth from our own people when they decide to leave certain factors and certain traits that they came in with alone. And we also gotta stop letting people feel like hip hop and black culture is a costume that you can just unzip and hang in the closet and then mock us and use it as a stage of growth that you've outgrown to go do other things and secure your whiteness like 1090 Jake just did. Respect the culture enough, 1090 Jake, to not make it seem like you were surviving hip hop or surviving blackness. Let's not do that. So y'all make sure that y'all like, share, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell. Tell me what y'all think down below, man. In the comment section. Let's get it. Hit that hype button. We out, baby. Boo!
Just LaFlare.
It's him.